Don't forget the maybe, baby.
Maybe this will help. Will this help you?
Don't forget the maybe, baby. Don't forget the maybe, baby.
All I'm saying is we need to get in the studio.
It's showtime.
Welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help.
And we right back up in you. What's up, y'all? Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to you. Mike over there getting a sip of that yak here before we get the show started. What's up, brother?
Hey, man, it's all good. It's all good. Happy to be alive.
I'm going to turn your mic up a little bit. Hold up. Or move a little bit closer.
I turned it up, you know.
Oh, wow. Wow. There we go. Yeah. Whatever you just did there, that was the move.
Just lean up a little bit.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. It turned up a lot.
So
and then he's back.
Not here. This is not good.
Yeah, that's cool.
But here is
that's the business right there.
Dynamic. Yeah. So what happened was Denim broke my microphone. So
come on, tell the whole truth.
I have it kind of Jimmy rigged between the printer and the Bible on top of the table, tilted slightly to the left.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, but we make it work nonetheless.
I understand, man.
We make it work.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help the podcast, giving you that relationship talk you can relate to, the good, the bad, and the alimony. We're here. Share our stories. Hopefully you share some of yours in the comments. We're going to put up some topics that are random. This is not scripted. We're going to just speak off the cuff. And we're going to see what comes out. And hopefully you guys walk away with something tonight that will help you in your relationship you have with yourself, your spouse, your children. We really do talk about just relationships in general, man. It's not even just isolated on romantic relationships, man.
It's not just one-sided. I've seen a lot of podcasts that some guys have, and sometimes the podcasts have that women have, and it's all coming from a man's point of view, a woman's point of view. I think we try to really dive in and understand at least both sides of the spectrum as much as we can. I mean, of course, we're men, so we can't speak on everything that women think and do, but that's why we have you guys as the audience. That's why we always chime in, ask you guys what you guys think, and kind of get your take on certain things that we show on the podcast. But yeah, so
Mike,
make sure
you're gonna get to coming on the show. We still not letting women on the show, huh? We still not inviting female guests on the show.
Listen, no. Until the Lord speaks. Oh no!
Wow!
No,
wow!
Listen, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna just let it go.
We have one. We had one in the history of the show.
Carrie like that, huh?
Wow! I'm talking about Tammy from KJLH. Tammy Mack. Yeah, she was on the show once.
And I heard that didn't go as
her and Carrie. The whole show. I'm trying to be the mediator because I brought her on, so I'm kind of trying to, but you know, trying to play both sides. But yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't the greatest. It was great for entertainment, though.
I'm sorry I missed it. Kinda. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get into this tonight, man. Mike, you want to check in, bro? How was your week?
My week was good, man. Just incredibly busy with work and businesses and entrepreneurship and coaching, and still trying to be dad and fiance, and still trying to find time for my own mental health and peace, and take a moment to myself. I actually did a thing on Friday. I have been not wanting to do, just out of fear, really. And I think last week we kind of touched on fear and its hindrances, or what? Or did you send that to the group? Is that a slide about fear, or did we talk about that on the show?
That's great. I think we talked about it on the show.
Okay. So nonetheless, and I just had to come to some realizations that my brother who passed is actually, gone, not coming back. Won't see him again until I get to where he is. And I had wanted to do this memorialization, if that's a word, tattoo that I had designed. But I didn't. Every time it was time for me to go to the appointment, I cancel or make up an excuse why I couldn't make it. But at the end of the day, what I realized, it was just fear, because for me, and this is not for everybody, but for me, stamping this tattoo on my leg, that was it. Like that meant that, listen, this is the last bit of
acceptance
of the truth, which is he's gone. So I went and did it, and it was a very emotional session. My tattooist, Shane, was very patient, to say the least. But I told him before I came in, I said, look, I may need to take a moment. I may need to take a few moments. But he understood the severity of me needing to do this. And Jay had checked on me because I went by myself, because I just felt like this was something that I needed to do alone, and just the pain. I didn't do no numbing cream. I didn't do none of that. I said I wanted to feel all of the emotions, feel all of the pain, feel all of everything that's going to come along with this, and then leave it at that. So it was good, man. It was like a release. Yeah. And then a little bit afterwards, of course, some more emotions and feelings came up, but for the most part, yeah, it's almost like you feel like you're on the road to finally healing from something that hurt you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
yeah,
that was a lot. But yeah, that was pretty much my week, brother.
I don't see how you could fit anything else in there.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Hey, man, bro. Shoot. My sinus has been acting up these last few days, so I'm not sure how my week has been. Besides these nostrils, I know it was good week at work. I know some stuff happened. I don't remember at this point, but I'm happy. I'm happy, and my relationship is happy, and my family's happy. Heart's happy, mind is good. So I'm just grateful. Yeah, I'm just ready to talk about some stuff tonight, man. Honestly, I'm looking back at some of these comments, though. I guess I didn't miss anything. Vicky said that chick that came on said, yeah, leave her wherever she's at. Pookie said it was a catastrophe. Sheesh.
Yeah, cause what happened was, I think she came on already defensive. So, whenever you come on somebody,
did you guys prep her for like?
I sent her some videos so she could watch some previous episodes. But also, this is when we was kind of still a little reckless, a little ratchet. Before the show was before you came on and tamed the show and brought it into focus, because we were definitely still, yeah.
All right. How about we go a different direction? Pravina said, what about an episode with an amazing kid? Do you tell your amazing child she has one more month? Her birthday is in October. One more month. Her daughter's going to start a podcast, and it's going to be cool.
Oh,
it's going to be cool.
That's dope.
Maybe we'll have some kids, but it have to be male kids. So, yep. Just excluding all women altogether, even up and coming. Oh, man, I know. I probably need to get some sleep tonight. Y'all forgive me if I say anything reckless. I feel it already.
I literally at 7:50 woke up like, oh my God. Was it 8 o'clock? So yeah, I'm still in the process of waking up and trying to go back to sleep. So You know, that
Man,
should make for a great show.
it is. Why do I keep losing slides, man? All right, so hold on. Let me add this one slide, and then I'm ready to rock the show, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike's gonna give you some instructions on what you need to do. Invite your friends, tell your parents.
Definitely tell your parents. Grab a drink, water, whiskey. I don't care.
Wow.
You know, I mean, because sometimes long day, you want to grab a drink, listen to your favorite podcast, and you know, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, man.
Tag a friend. If you guys, I'll go ahead and mention this early while we're doing this. If you guys aren't following our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, please go do so while Donnie is loading up these slides. And then even if you don't watch it on those platforms, like if you always watch it on Facebook, just go over and like and subscribe and to our YouTube channel, and then vice versa. If you're only watching on YouTube, go over to our other two Facebook and Instagram platforms and like and follow on those as well. Please, we appreciate it. Appreciate it.
All right, you ready to get into this, bro?
Yes, sir.
Listen, I'm just gonna come in hot. Let's go with this, ladies and gentlemen. I see enough people watching. We got some views in here. We're gonna talk about toxic people. We're gonna start off just talking about toxic people. You ever seen them videos online, like they say, like if iPhone was honest, and they get on there, like somebody's done a video, like, you know, talking about it's not really an upgrade, it's the same phone. One thing has changed about it, and they have like, you know, what if politicians were honest? And so they get on there and they just talk like, you know. So this one is, what if a toxic person was honest?
Hey, well, I just was curious if I could get you to pick up the phone. But now that I have you, I've been talking about you behind your back to all our friends and family, doing a little triangulation and smear campaigning, you know, telling your stories like I'm the main character, and I was wondering if you had heard about that yet, but I could tell by the sound of your voice that you're not on to me yet. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of down, and I was wondering, you know, I missed the things you used to do for me, so could I hoover you back up with a fake apology? Yeah, you know, like imply that I'm sorry, but not ever actually say that I'm sorry. Well, that didn't go over the way that I wanted, so let me remind you that you have done things that hurt me too. Look, my new supply is on to me, so could you just regulate my emotions for me like you used to do? No? Well, then can I pick a fight and bait you into matching my dysregulation? Could I at least ruin your mood and use up all your battery? Hey!
If they were honest, bro, have you been in that situation, man? You know, I just want to I just want to say this because it's on my chest and I want to get it off my chest. This video has prompted me to be honest, but I've been in situations before where I know that someone was toxic, and for the life of me, I just wouldn't call them out. And just wouldn't call them out. And this video showed me a lot of those things that I already knew, but just threw it right back in my face. And I'm just like, what's wrong with me? Why wouldn't I call them out? Why? It's like I don't want to be mean or hurt their feelings, but I'm enabling that behavior, not holding them accountable, and it's hurting me. And it's not doing them any good either, because it's creating a future for them that they don't want to experience, because karma is real. But You ever been there, bro?
100%. 100%. I think of being honest and transparent, my younger years, I was probably the toxic person, or at times the toxic person. My older years, I would say I've definitely experienced it with some people that were very close to me. And I think that I think that I didn't call them out. One, like you said, because I don't want to hurt their feelings, and I don't want to lose this person because they do mean what they mean to me. But what I found is it ends up actually, that's what ends up ruining that relationship, is because you're harboring all this, damn it, because you almost get to the point where it's like, man, I don't even want to talk to this person. I don't want to be around this person. But you're not saying that. So they're thinking like, okay, what's wrong? And you don't want to say you are the problem. Your behavior is the problem. Your ways is the problem. Your lies are the problem. And I don't want to deal with them anymore. You're not saying any of that. You're just saying, I'll catch you on the flip side. Or I can't make that, but I appreciate it. Love you though. You're not really being honest with that person, and that starts to build resentment, and then that actually ruins the relationship that could potentially have been saved if you were just honest.
So I need help tonight. We're gonna start off with I need y'all in the comments to help. How do you approach somebody who's toxic without? I know some of y'all, I know Pookie out there, without getting into physical altercations. I'm not trying to get physical and harm nobody, but I think for me, my MO has always just been ghost, or just like keep them around, but just be like very non-engaging. But it's still like that. That's backfired on me as well, because as long as I'm holding them there, they're taking up space for somebody who wants to be genuine and healthy in my life. You know what I'm saying? So what is that attachment? Is it am I hurt? Am I broken? Do I need to be healed somewhere inside of me? Why I won't do what's best for me in this situation, and what really could be potentially best for that person as well? I need help.
I think that if it's a situation to where you're not really tripping if this person is in your life or not, I feel like ghosting is not necessarily a bad thing, but I also feel like ghosting doesn't help you resolve or help you strengthen that boundary that needs to be strengthened. You know what I mean? Because ghosting to me is the easy way out. Cool, I'm gonna talk to you. Bye. And that's what I usually do as well. You know what I mean? So I'm speaking from experience. But if I stay and I say, hey, these are the issues that I'm having. Like, you say you my homegirl, you say you my homeboy, and as my friend, as a person that I've chosen, and vice versa, you've chosen to be in each other's lives, I have to tell you X, Y, and Z. And I hope that, the bond is strong enough to where we can stay solid. But if not, I get it. But here, and that's when I explain, here are the issues that I'm having.
All right. So let me ask you a question, Mike, because I just asked somebody, how do you deal with a toxic person? They said you don't. You just don't. And I said, okay, but that's kind of challenging to do. And the response was, what if someone was being toxic with your son, Mike? How would you deal with that person?
If someone was being toxic, so I would tell him how to deal with it. I'm raising a man. I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to fight Dennis battles for him.
What would you tell him to do?
Even at school, where he's like, this person is saying X, Y, Z. What'd you do about it? Oh, well, I didn't do anything because he's my friend and I didn't want to. Okay, so you need to go have a conversation. This is your friend. You need to go talk to your friend. And my God, what's up? Why are you doing this? Why are you treating me like this? I thought we were supposed to be boys. It don't all. So I feel like a lot of things can be handled with conversations, but to say you're toxic, I'm done. Where's the grace in that? You know what I mean? Especially if there's never been a conversation. There's never been nothing. I feel you're toxic, so I'm going. Maybe they're not toxic. Maybe you're tripping. Maybe you have the issue.
Like so you're saying we owe toxic people something, or we owe ourselves just being gracious because that's just how we're made up. Because let me tell you, like, I ask you what you will tell your son, because I know that I'm not a practicer of what I preach in this regard. I know that the advice I give people, I'm very reluctant and hesitant to walk in that, but I'm in this place now, being in a relationship, and marriage is coming and children are coming and all those things, and I'm looking at how protective I am of what pertains to me, what I've been called the steward, right? And I see myself having less tolerance for foolishness, and not just from a place of ghosting, but calling it out with a very high amount of authority, and just I think it's just a protective, because my heart's starting to beat fast now just thinking about it. It's just like, I don't want to say, I want to call it tolerance, because I don't want to say my love is lessening for those kind of engagements with people, whatnot. But really though, the older I get, the more experiences I have in life, the more opportunities I feel like I miss out on, the less time I feel like I have to waste not being authentic in areas where there's confrontation, because that's what I shy away from, the confrontation piece of it. But I recognize that that's the place where I need growth, and so I need to approach this. But how you learning something new and you come in super hot?
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. You got to find your middle ground.
This nigga's flying in there like, whoa, slow
Yeah.
down, Turbo.
First
Nah,
off,
I get it.
yeah.
Right. Nah, I feel like it's like so. What if it was your wife that was toxic? Would you just, oh, you're toxic, I'm done? Or would there be some conversation? I feel like with the people that we love, the people that we want to be in our lives, there should at least be a conversation before we make any life-changing decisions about it.
All right. It sounds very nice and politically correct. Let me ask you a question.
No, it's the truth.
You have some people in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they just happen to become toxic one day, or were they that way when you met them?
They were that way when I met them.
So how did they become a close friend and be toxic?
Because the toxicity was never geared towards me directly. So I can be okay. You being toxic with all of them. All right, you don't act like that towards me. She don't act like that towards me. So what's the problem? But then when you see it start to veer a little bit, it's like, oh, you doing this to me too? I thought we was
okay.
So
I got
that
you.
to me is when the conversation needs to be had. Hey, I know you treat all these other people like that, but I'm supposed to be, you know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
What up?
All right. We got some people in the audience kind of chiming in. Bastien says it's hard. You either ignore their traits or check them on it. It depends on who it is. Is it a parent? Shoot, like, bro, we didn't even touch on that part yet. Toxic parents. I was having a conversation with my friend this weekend about how important it is. Like, we're in this age now where we're talking about, like, yeah, we go to therapy and we're talking about it freely and openly, but the generation before us is really not really on that tip like this generation is, and the younger generation is just kind of for that coaching and therapy and all that kind of stuff. But it's a lot of people's parents who need to go to therapy.
100%.
And it's the fact that there are parents, we often feel like we can't hold them accountable because of their seniority. But holding someone accountable is something that you do because you love them. It is an act of respect and honor and love. It's how you present it to them, but advocating for them to take that, journey, because maybe they don't see what they're doing to you or to the rest of the family, or maybe they don't understand it. And maybe it needs to be told to them in a way by someone that they do care about. But yeah, I just want to put that in there real quick. Parents, they need to go to therapy, man.
And real quick, before you get into that comment, it just dawned on me, because we're quick to label these people as toxic. Do they know that? Do they know that they're being toxic? Because what if what's toxic to you ain't toxic to me? What if this is how I've been all my life? Nobody has ever checked me on it. So I think it's cool. What if all my other friends are like this? What if my mom and my dad is like this? What if this is the type of household that I grew up in? Am I then supposed to be discounted because just off the top because Donnie thinks I'm toxic?
Let's define it then. Because it's before we define it, is everybody allowed to have their own definition of toxic, or is there a kind of a universal consensus that we can say this is toxic behavior? Because everybody using that word now, narcissist,
right.
and not we're not all to know exactly what that means. But it's a hot word. You're being narcissist.
Yeah, they use that for everything.
Yeah, but what is your definition of toxic?
So for me, somebody that's toxic for me is somebody that is like a magnet for bullshit and drama. Somebody that always leads with the negative. Somebody that always sees the glass half empty. Somebody that's just while I'm trying to go forward, you trying to get me to look back and go backwards. You know what I mean?
Okay. So I looked up something online and said a toxic person is anyone whose behavior adds negativity and upset to your life. Many times people who are toxic are dealing with their own stressors and traumas. To do this, they act in ways that don't present them in the best light and usually upset others along the way. My definition of toxic is when a person's behavior is abusive in any form. That's psychologically, emotionally, verbally, physically. That's where I call toxic at, when it becomes abusive. Because outside of abusive, it just may not be my preference. It may be a red flag for me. It's something that I may have to get accustomed to because this person is a unique individual. but abuse is not something that I could stand for. Abuse is usually understood behavior, like what you're doing isn't right. I don't think that that's something that someone has to point out and tell you that you're abusing this person.
Okay. So are they abusive or are they toxic, or is abuse the same as toxic? Is it one and the same?
That's what I'm saying. I think that when I say a person is toxic, I'm saying either some or all of their behavior is in some ways abusive. And so that's why, yeah. So we'll go with that for now. So I'm going to use that definition moving forward. So Bastien said you either ignore their traits or you check them on it, but it depends on who it is. Is it a parent, sibling, spouse, your boss? In my mind, who's being abusive? Some people can listen to their mirror, and some people run. Pookie said I had to have that uncomfortable conversation, and either they take accountability and make a real effort to change it, or I had to cut them off. It's someone I truly value. If it's someone I truly value, I'll bring it up, and after that, I have to walk away. This one right here hit home. P. Diddley said, I was finally honest with a friend of over 30 plus years, no longer accepted what was happening, and it was a shock to her. I would share things throughout our friendship, but there was no self-awareness on her part. I no longer deal with her and haven't lost any sleep. I love her, but over there.
No, so but you see, it wasn't the young lady or the young, I think it was, she said her, but the young lady she said there was no self-awareness. I don't know that I'm even doing it. I've been operating in this thing so long, I don't even know when I'm being toxic. To me, I'm just being me.
I don't know, man.
Call me on it.
We'll probably have to have some more conversation about that. I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel like there's something, unless you have like a mental disorder, I feel like there's something inside of human beings that just know. But it's a tricky conversation because I feel like somebody like who's been to war, you know what I'm saying? They may not see conflict as a full-time civilian sees it. You know what I'm saying to you? So I get it. I don't know. That's just tough, man. I probably got a few instances running through my own mind that's making that a tough pill for me to swallow. But
no, I get it. It definitely is one of those subjects because it's everybody views things on such a different spectrum, and I understand that some things is just we should all have at least the general consensus on what this thing is, but I don't think that the toxic thing is one of those things where it'll be just a general consensus. 100%.
Until it's time to confront somebody. So what about this, man? Eric says some people thrive in toxicity. You know, it's just
so if I'm thriving, if I in my own world, if I'm toxic as shit and I'm thriving out here doing good, why would I think that's something negative? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm not worried about Donnie. I'm doing good.
Yeah, all right. At the expense of others.
It's toxic. That's the whole point of it being toxic.
Man.
What happens is I think we get in these situations, especially I use a personal one. So when I stepped out on Janae, in her mind, she couldn't understand how another woman could knowingly know that he's in a relationship and still want to engage with him. She couldn't understand it in her mind. Could not fathom, because that's the way that she thinks. For me, I'm like, why not? It happens every day. But for her, it like blows her mind.
I don't know if I'm buying it, man. I don't know why it's so challenging for me to just grasp it. It's an innocence. It's an innocent toxicity. They didn't know.
Nobody said it was innocent. Nobody even said it was right. But the fact of the matter is, because somebody doesn't operate how I operate, I can't then, you don't do stuff the way I do it. So that automatically makes you a messed up person. Nah.
Eric came back and said, brother, common sense ain't too common when it comes to recognizing and understanding toxic traits. You know, there is some truth to it, because I wouldn't understand toxic traits had I not spent time in therapy or even researching, doing my own research. about mental health and mental and self-awareness, self-accountability. I learned all these ideas and these definitions on my own self journey and my own work. So you're right.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever in Donnie's existence had any type of toxic trait? Ever?
Not ever in my life.
That's a lie. That's
You
a
asked
lie
a
from
rhetorical question, nigga.
But see, no, I'm not. I'm asking you a question on purpose because
knowingly toxic.
No. By your standards, all of it has to be knowingly. There's no. I didn't know I was toxic.
So what are you asking me?
I'm actually. Have you ever had a toxic trait that maybe you didn't realize? Oh, was I been toxic right there? You never had that moment.
That I didn't realize.
You've always known that this is toxic. I'm gonna just keep doing it. Or has there been a moment where somebody maybe said something like, "Oh shit, that is toxic. I'm gonna stop doing that."
I'm gonna answer your question like this. When I allowed there to be a gray area between toxic and healthy, I've been able to justify it because I created a lot of different options between toxic and healthy. When I left it as just black and white, it's easy as day to see. It was easy as day for me to see. When I didn't want to be held accountable to toxic behavior, I'll justify it as that no, it's not toxic, but I can't say it's healthy either. But it's just the way that I am.
But that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. That's you just said you did it. What do you mean?
I know. That's what I'm saying. That is still toxic. But you know,
I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying that it's not. But I'm saying sometimes people put, like I said,
this person has been this way. You asked me. I was trying to justify toxic behavior.
I'm agreeing with you, bruh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it goes back to my initial point. We always know. That's what I'm saying. I feel like we always know. Or I even want people to always know and stop playing. I'm just gonna tell everybody. That's it. I'm just now I'm just gonna be going around telling everybody you toxic. I'm gonna get fired tomorrow at work.
I don't even have to give you a reason why. You toxic. Get out of here.
Oh man. Okay. Wow. Wait a minute. What's going on here? P did said, I know a girl who has an STD and she never tells the man she's with. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Is it toxic or is trifling? I think that we're starting to just throw everything into this toxic bucket. Like we throw everything. The man does XYZ, so he's automatically a narcissist. Everything ain't narcissism. Everything ain't toxic.
Is everything either healthy or toxic, or is there some other categories that we're not saying?
I think everything is either healthy or unhealthy.
But unhealthy ain't toxic.
No, I didn't say that. That's not the name I would give it. I would give it healthy or unhealthy.
This is why people be getting away with stuff, because there's space to hide in between the semantics of it. But if we go back to the original conversation with the lady in the video being honest, and what I asked for help with, I got the help I needed. I just got to call a spade a spade. And if I'm wrong in my conclusions, then we'll have a conversation. But I'm going to call it how I see it and how I feel it, not to condemn that person. But I learned this when I was going through a coaching workshop. They said in the relationships that you care about, often it's good to ask the people this question: how do I occur to you? They said use those exact words. How do I occur to you? You're going to get a chance to see yourself through their lens because you care about this person. How they see you and how you occur to them is important. And so they might be able to see or express to you how you occur to them through their personality filter. And that might expose you to some things about yourself you weren't aware of, because we know how we occur to us and that's how we give ourselves out. And sometimes we forget that everybody has their own personality filter. So I think that for me, this is giving me the insight and the conviction I need to begin to like not call people out for condemnation, but to be like, yo, this is how this is coming across to me and I don't like it. And before I step away, I just want to let you know where I'm at and how this is occurring to me and see what you had to say about it.
That's good. That's good.
See, now when Carrie come on here and say, this is what I'm toxic is toxic. See, you got to make it real black and white, man. Man. Yep. Well, I'm just going to have adult conversations with people. I think that's what I was avoiding, and that was probably a toxic trait of mine. On to the next video. Yo, this right here, man. Tell me how you feel about this, Mike.
What happened to the man I fell in love with? He used to be so passionate, adventurous, and dare I say, dangerous. Women are often attracted to the wilder side of a man, but then once they get married, she begins to domesticate him, rebuild him, and change him into a woman. No, this is how you make the bed. No, don't do it like that. This is how you give the kids a bath. No, this is how you load the dishwasher. No, don't do anything where you could get hurt. Be safe. Don't do anything dangerous. Men need danger. It's one of the things that spikes their testosterone. That's why they love sports and boxing and hunting and Harleys and hamburgers. Women want to monitor a man's safety because we believe it's better for us. But in reality, it kills the passion. Don't be afraid to empower the adventurous side of your man.
That was surprisingly good.
Yeah. Now she's every time we use one of her videos, it's pretty spot on. And I like that one a lot. I think that the careful part I want to take with it is though I don't want my woman to not do what she naturally wants to do, which is to monitor my safety. Yes. I still want her to operate in her beautiful feminine nature while I'm operating mine, but we laugh at the fact that I'm not going to be a woman for you, and I'm not going to try to make you like the homeboy man for me. I know, babe, you're going to tell me not to buy the bike. I'm gonna still get the bike and ride it with no helmet, but I understand you saying that because you love me. But the moment I feel like I have no choice, no option, then that's where a person starts to change for the worse, and now they can't be their true selves, and then resentment kicks in. But it can still be fun, and everybody still feel the way they feel. He wants his danger, you want to monitor his safety, and y'all can just laugh and be cool about it. Because there's that temptation after watching that video to be like, yeah, woman, you should support my danger and my. No, she's just not wired that way, and don't force her to do that. Just like she won't force you to be like her.
Yeah, I like it. I liked everything about the video.
All right.
Yeah.
That was accurate. Anybody on here, I'm seeing if anybody in the audience, anybody on here, women in particular, ever been guilty of that? Trying to neuter your man? Oh, here we go. Here he said, I believe, what's up, brother, by the way? I believe better is not gendered. Stupid is stupid. We often think that being a man is okay to be stupid, and vice versa for a woman with emotions. Hope that makes sense. Okay. So dangerous doesn't mean reckless. Seeking a thrill because that's what we're wired doesn't mean you go out there and just be a plumb idiot and don't operate from good sense.
Yeah, no, and that's 100% spot on. I think what I can appreciate in my own relationship is the dangerous things that I enjoy doing. Shooting guns, things of that nature. She's actually grown to love herself. You know what I mean? Not because I told her to, not because I pressured her to. I just told her this is something I like doing.
Talk about Jay Wick.
That was good. That was good. Damn.
Jay Wick.
You were rare form this evening. That was good.
Yeah, Janae Wick over there, boy. She don't play with them guns, man. Where's my bathroom gun? How she got guns labeled by the room they're supposed to be in? Did you move my bathroom gun? It's supposed to be under the toilet.
What's so funny is these are real conversations in this house. That's so funny.
Yeah, I'm not making. Yes, remember at the house when you were showing me all the guns? She wanted to know where her bathroom gun was. And she went there like 3 or 4 times. I think you moved it. I'm about to get shot.
Jesus Christ! But it's just. This is just I was just saying that because the thing that happens when as women they start to kind of share in the dangerous things in a man's life, it just does something for the relationship. You know what I mean? Now this is a whole different way that we can bond on. You know what I mean? Just like when a man says, "Hey babe, let's cook dinner together tonight." A whole different way that you guys can bond on. You know what I mean? It's just finding
dinner together. What's something more let's go pick out blinds together.
Right. No, but right.
Yeah.
But I use cook dinner because I don't cook dinner. She usually cooks dinner like all the time. So that was just for me a thing that, you know, just let me get into your thing. Not saying that I want to take over it, not saying I want to invade it, but hey, is it cool if, you know, we do this together tonight? Because sometimes my thing, I want it to stay my thing. This is what I want to do by myself. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when your woman tries to invade that, it feels like an invasion. Like, kind of wanted to do this by myself. I don't really want to do this with you. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting conversation.
It is, but but it's again conversations that have to be had. Like, for instance, she wanted to go and support me when I went and got this tattoo, and I understand where she was coming from, that the heart that she had. With this particular thing, I need to do this by myself, and she supported that.
Okay, I respect that. I want to get to something.
Gotcha.
Sinuses, jeez.
Claritin, have you tried Claritin? Because I have really messed up sinuses too. I pop one of them Claritins, boy, it's a wrap. I'm good.
I got something labeled in there in the red box. It might be.
Yeah.
Carrie said that's how the woman, and that's women keeping the dangerous things safe. I think talking about he said, but you do that in a monitored place. So maybe there's a form of compromise because you don't want your woman to be stressed out because, you know, it's interesting, you know what I'm saying? Like being in a new relationship, there's things that I enjoy doing, and it may take a while for your partner to kind of fully embrace that's the kind of danger you like. And so it may need to be temporarily altered to create a sense of ease and peace of mind for your partner as they get used to this is how you do life, versus you just give it to them just raw. This is how I am, and you got to find a way to deal with this.
Do you feel like as a woman, you doing anything is going to bring some type of worry about when you going to work because you're a black man? You may get pulled over, but I feel like our spouses are always going to have this underlying, I hope he makes it back home to me type of mentality. Am I right?
Well, I'm saying, though, don't you feel that way? That's why you always, you know, you tell Jay, text me when you get here, when you get there. Don't you have that same desire for?
Yes.
So I think it might be a different kind of. With that video, I think it was alluding to a different form of safety.
I got you.
I think it's not understanding the way that a man is wired for adventure and safety and danger, which is actually connected to the component of man that keeps the woman safe.
That's good. Yeah.
And I think that's the part that has to be explained through communication. Like I had a girl tell me, she was like, you know, I like these kind of guys because they look safe and they look godly and they look well mannered and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, unfortunately, the world we live in will best suit you to have a man that understood how to be dangerous when it was necessary, because all that made you feel safe with him. But can that type of man make you feel safe in this world that doesn't love you, that doesn't want to have your back like that, right? And so she kind of understood what I was coming from. So I wish I could find a video, is that every man should be able to tap into his dangerous side as necessary, but have the discipline and the discernment to know when it's necessary and when it's not. But to have a man void of that ability to tap into that inner beast, you know, I don't.
And that goes both ways. To have a man that can't tap into it, like you said, and then on the other end of the spectrum, the man that don't have enough discipline to know when to turn it off.
Yeah.
Both of those extremes are heavy side, like you did. Like, oof, that's.
I think this is well said right here. Be dangerous, but not put her in danger. That's good.
100%.
That's good. This brother probably DJing a set and spitting, dropping gems. Just can't get enough. Luther style. I ain't mad at you. All right. That's good. I feel like we're off to a good start.
Yeah.
All right, let's go this direction, man.
Your partner going through stuff and somebody asks you, oh, how are you and so-and-so? I'm good. We always good.
Right.
We are always good. You ain't never gonna catch me. Yo, bro, I can't believe this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not. Nope. Because as soon as that's when people think that they can start to insert themselves, and now people feel some type of way for you over something that happened with you and your partner, even though y'all gonna reconcile anyway. Mm-hmm. And it just becomes a whole thing. And I don't need you you know, you're not my couples therapist. That's what I have my couples therapist for. You feel me? So we'll go through it in counseling and we'll handle it that way, but we don't need to be telling everybody, oh, we in a bad space right now. Like, what's that going to do? You feel me? It's really not when your partner go.
What you say?
No, I was telling Jay about this. I said it's gonna have people in your DMs. Oh, are you okay? Did you eat tonight? Did you want to?
You remember
a
few episodes ago, I said that when you get in a relationship, you guys need to create an emergency contact list. You guys agree to come together and agree on if anything goes down, these are the people that we call. You know, yes, your therapist is in there, but it's other confidants and people. It's not just the people who are always asking what's going on or the people who, you know, you feel like you connect to the best emotionally. You guys come together and agree. Like, these are the people that we can rely on to pull us back to center and to remind us of why we're here in the first place. I sent a video to the girl I'm in a relationship with, and the video was alluding to how you need to have people in your life that will defend your partner. People who are close to you that will defend your partner for you, right? And so, you know, and I think that goes a long way, because oftentimes the people closest to you are going to be biased towards you, and then they're going to hold a grudge against your person, like you said in the video, and y'all going to reconcile, but they're going to hold that grudge, and they'll be the one that remind you of the things that you forgave and forgot, but they'll be the ones bringing it back up, because in essence, they're not really trying to contribute to the new you, which is you and that person. They want the old you because that's who they love and that's who they're comfortable with. And they know the new you is going to mean less of you for them. And that's an issue for some people. And then and some people, they're not cognizant of the fact that they are really holding you back from your best self, because they know that best version of you means less of you for them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that we have to be aware of in ourselves. Like, when it comes to parents and siblings and best friends, once you get married, like, everybody shifts because this person is now your priority.
Downward.
Everybody shifts downward, right? And we have to live. We have to. It's like me. I want to be optimistic that everybody's in full support, but I also have to be realistic. Nobody really wants to accept. Not everybody really wants to accept that kind of demotion, even if it's in the best interest of the person that you love. And I think that's how you know you love someone, when you're willing to, in support of relocating your position, so that whatever is necessary for them in that season can be highlighted. And if it's not you, that's fine.
Man, that's everything you said is money. I feel like I can count on probably 4 fingers the people that I go to about my relationship. And me and Janae have this understanding, like, we don't air our shit out in public. Like old boy said in the video, we good. We could be at our worst, but while we out here in the world, we good. We're doing all right. We're doing all right, because like you said, some people are just waiting for an end. Waiting. I'm talking about literally, as soon as I hear this nigga is on the rocks in his relationship, I'm all over him.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And some people, because you divulge so much about your relationship, some people will harp on the things that they know you struggle with. You know, it's happened just with me talking about the show. Just with me talking about my issues with stepping out on the show. I've had DMs like, what are you doing? Why would you hop in my DMs and you already know the things in the past that I've struggled with?
You know what they doing. See, whole people do. They know exactly what they doing.
Yes, 100%.
I'm interested here though. So Eric says social media screwed that up. Please elaborate, because I have an idea where I think you headed, but please tell us a little bit more, because I got some real deep feelings about this whole. All right, well, he already added it. So, too many women go to social media with subliminal messages.
And these days, it's not even women. That's the cold thing. That's the cold thing. It's not even just women these days. It's terrible. Terrible.
I always say this, man. It's like this social media can be the worst thing that happened to you or the best thing, but you got to learn how to work that thing. Like, you got to learn what it's for and what it's not for. Oh man.
No, yeah, he is on point with that one, 100%.
It's rough, because that, like they say, man, that it lives forever. And they're deleting that. Like, it's out there forever. I think that.
Oh, go ahead. No, you got it.
I about to say, I think that in my early days of social media, I was more of an observer of certain things. I've never been an overshare on social media. Then when I became a life coach and got talking about relationships, relationship book and stuff like that, I share a lot of stuff, right? And people jump my DMs quick, like, "Oh man, is everything okay?" I'm like, "Listen, this is actually from a conversation I was just having. Like, I talk about relationships now, but everything I say about relationships isn't about my relationship. Like, it's crazy. Like, people immediately think that you're talking about you, and so I find that funny and scary at the same time. Because what if I was?
Yeah.
What am I exposing myself to? I think Carrie said it earlier. He said opening unnecessary doors. Yep, opening unnecessary doors brings unnecessary ish.
Come on now, that's facts. That's facts. Do you remember, or have you ever seen a post where maybe a young lady and she like dragging her dude through the mud on social media, and then 2 days later they in a picture, will always be mine, love forever.
Yeah.
I'm like,
your DM still ain't got answered. Your DM is on red. You thought that was your end. You don't know how relationships work.
On, keep your personal stuff off of social media. Even with me, I post certain things, but I only post what I'm comfortable with the world seeing or knowing. I'm not gonna just post all of my dirty laundry.
Or clean.
Or clean.
Keep that super vague and mysterious thing. I'm a magician online. You don't know what I'm talking about, what I'm doing. And that's the way I like it. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the way I like it. It's all good. Oh man. All right. We're on a roll, man. I'm ready to move on to the all right. This one's a little lengthy, and then we'll get into halftime after this. But this one I had to debate within myself if I was going to post it, because I might have got a little triggered by it. So check this out.
Overthinkers need people who love to over clarify. Overthinkers sometimes go to so much of extremes. They will create the worst possible situations in their head. Because of that, they are constantly hurting. They are constantly feeling insecure. So if you know someone who is an overthinker, you need to over clarify things for them. If you care about that bond, if you care about them, once you win that trust, their attitude towards you won't be overthinking but overloving. Because overthinkers just need one thing: trust.
So your face tells me that I'm not the only one struggling with this.
Yeah, man,
it's tough, man. Like, maybe it was his language, but like, you gotta over explain. Like,
you gotta over clarify.
I try to breathe through that. I'm like, okay, but if I care about this person, I understand this is what they need. Then this is a labor of love.
Right.
Before I end up calling them toxic because they overthinking, which is not a toxic trait. It's just a way that they process life. But he said it can turn into over loving. I'm like, I feel like I'm at the car dealership. I'm about to buy this. I didn't even come here for this. But now all of a sudden I'm interested. Because tell me more about the over loving part. Tell me.
How can I get to that? I ain't never even had that before. I'm trying to see what the over loving feel like.
I'm trying to see what that did like. Right. So you tell me, if I over explain and over communicate, I'm gonna get over loved. Then that sounds very selfish. So I'm just mixed. I'm mixed in my emotions about this.
I feel like when it comes to I think when it comes to marriage, I just use marriage. When it comes to marriage, if I know my wife she's like this big overthinker, I don't mind being accommodating to over clarify. Now, if it's a nigga like one of my boys, like, bruh, I just told you that's what it is. You're gonna have to either believe me or not. But for my woman, because I get it. All they need is that clarification. And I understand why he would say, if you keep over clarifying for this person, eventually they won't be such an overthinker with you because they'll have that trust that you'll tell me the real without having to dig so deep off into what you're saying. You'll just take it at its value, basically.
I feel like from experience, there's a lot of truth to that. And I think that what you're saying is that my willingness to over explain is really dependent on if I desire to be overloved by you. I think how much you love me now is enough. I'm okay. And you can tell by when I stop communicating, I'm very happy with whatever happens after I stop communicating. If you decide to walk away, I'm fine with that. So I can't be over explaining to everybody.
Life definitely goes on for sure.
Okay, hold on.
Are you okay?
What you say?
No, I was gonna say, do you feel like you're an overthinker?
Dang, here we go. Here we go. How are we defining an overthinker? Because somebody who's been to war and comes back to civilian life can be considered an overthinker. Somebody who grew up in the hood in the 80s and now lives in that gentrified neighborhood in 2023.
I understand everything you're saying. Real talk.
Can be considered an overthinker because when they go to the ATM, the person needs to stand over there, not back here. Right. Or you be at the gym and like, you know, every time somebody come in the restroom, you turn around like you be like in one of those movies where you start looking at the metal part of the urinal to see if you can see the person behind you, like they do in the action movies, in case somebody's trying to swing on you. Paranoid. Is paranoia a form of overthinking? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Is it even paranoia? Is it even paranoia though? Because legit, these things can and have happened.
It's street sense. It's street knowledge. You street smart. Yeah, I don't even know if I can answer your question now. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah, see, Ken said it. So overthinking is not a bad thing sometimes. I mean,
agreed.
This is tough. All right. Hold on. Let me add this real quick.
All right.
You do it to the people you love. It doesn't mean they will overlove you, but it may mean that they no longer second guess things and be at peace. Listen, I ain't doing it if I ain't getting the overlove. I just tell you straight up.
Listen, that's the end all be all. If I can get that overlove.
Listen, let me tell you, Mahmoud.
Overthinkers.
Mahmoud told me I get the overlove. So if that's not happening, then consider myself.
And he had the thing on his head, so you already know he's telling the truth.
Yeah, he's an airbender. Don't be disrespectful.
You said airbender. They are gonna delete. They're gonna cancel this podcast. Golly, YouTube already setting up to. Golly, right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Mike, take it away, bro.
I don't even know if I should at this point. Golly. See, here we go.
Overlooking with that third eye.
Here we go.
Overthinking, overlooking, overloving. Sheesh. Mr. Lover. Go ahead, halftime. Do your thing, man.
Ladies and gents, take this time. Please go follow us, I guess, if you want to. It's up to you. YouTube, Facebook, as well as Instagram. Maybe this will help the podcast. If you're not already following us, please do so. Like, share, comment. For those that aren't aware, that are just tuning in for the first time, Sundays 8 p.m. PST. That's our time that we go live. And we try to make it every Sunday. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. Eric, I want to thank you too, man, and Carrie, all the men that are actually commenting and voicing opinions. We appreciate that. We appreciate our women too, but usually on the show we get mostly women so to see some male input is dope. We appreciate it.
Straight up. And with that being said, now it's time for me to ask you for your money. Here we go. Cash App. Maybe this will help. The only reason we collect funds is so we can stay on the air. I promise you, we're not. Let me take Mike off the camera real quick. It's messing up my sales pitch. No, real talk. This money just helps us pay for this platform. helps us stay up to date with our technology. Clearly, Mike's son broke his microphone, so he has to get a new microphone so that you can hear his wonderful gems and wisdom and foolery. But if you do want to donate, you can go to Cash App, $ maybe this will help. If you don't have Cash App, you can go to Maybe This Will Help Podcast. Maybe This Will Help Podcast at gmail.com. We can hook you up with Venmo and Cash App, Zelle, or we can meet you on the corner of Fig and Slauson, and we can handle it that way. You muted, bro. What'd you say?
I said it'll be a smooth transaction.
Smooth. Super smooth.
Man.
All right. Y'all ready for the second half of this show? If so, go in the comments right now. What's been your favorite part of the show so far? Put in the comments before we get ready to get into the second half of the show. In case you everybody's trying to be an entrepreneur these days, they're just trying to promote what they're doing. If you need your printing services, please go to Stoic Printing Services. You can go to Instagram page. They can print everything from fake paternity tests to t-shirts, hoodies, jackets. Get your name put inside your man's drawers, whatever it is you need. Yeah, customize your kids' school uniform so they don't look like the rest of them kids. You know, just go over to Stoic Printing Services, make it special. You know what I'm saying? Make it special. He can emblem and imprint almost anything. So, and if you decide you want to have a party of some sort, go over to Baden.Rentals. Biden, what is it? Joe Biden? You want to tell me?
Bailey Daniel.
Yes, Pravina, that's actually how we're going to start the second half. Thank you for putting that out there. We are going to be advertising our OnlyFans. I'm going to go ahead and put the next video up, Mike, because I guess Pravina snuck into my computer again. Here we go.
You know, I might not be at 10, but 28,000 people spend $10 a month to watch me swim. So life is pretty damn good as a 5. Bye.
Do the math. 28,000.
Oh, as soon as she said it, I was like, damn.
28,000, $10 a month to watch her swim. See, everybody think OnlyFans is people on there busted wide open, and I tell her bring it back, getting the eagle on. Listen, some people is on there just painting their toenails. Who's in the men's feet? Because I know it got to be at least 28,000 people.
It's a
watch
whole,
me get these calluses off my heel. I can, what?
Who
want to watch me lotion my knees? There's got to be at least 28,000 people that's into knees, men's knees, Not Megan's, mine. Somebody. I'm just saying, bro. Like, you ain't got to compromise your morals, and you can get you a stack real quick. Yes. Yeah. Or some, like Pravina says, some women are into, bro. These right here, I know. Grandfather always said I should be trying to make money with my hands. I think this might be it.
He thought you anyway.
Hold on. Feel free to shout out Tholey Donovan. I just sent it to your messenger. Okay, hold on. I don't know what that is, but let me go have a look, because Tholey sound a lot like thought to me. So is that like a male version of a which me over there? Where'd you send it, Allie? I don't see it. Yeah, so bro, going back to what you got, Big Jellin, what you got products for? Because I've really been looking at this whole OnlyFans things. People are making so much money. And I think that people have the wrong idea who've never been on there, what it's all about. And people are literally cashing in. She said 28,000 people, $10 a month just to watch her swim. What you thinking about, Mike? What's your hustle? Because something's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hop on there and find something to where I can get away with.
So let's get something that God and Jay would be okay with, huh? Because I am OnlyFans Gym Edition. Just watch me work out. Wow. A delivery system for the anointing oil. That's what McJellin wants me to put on my knees. I wonder, it's probably a gang of Christians on OnlyFans. That might be my niche. They don't want nobody to know. They under their old name before they came to Christ. Listen, let me keep myself out of trouble tonight. Real talk though. Mike, the reason I brought this video up, hypothetical question time. You're in your marriage, fell on some hard times. Are you letting your woman do OnlyFans?
Depends on what she's trying to do. Like we just said, everything ain't about busting it open. If it's something that she can do that's not going to compromise the marriage, then yeah.
Okay, then next question is, why is she not already doing it?
Because that to me is a fallback, like you said. In my opinion, it's not something that I would go to as a first thought. Like, oh, let me go do XYZ on OnlyFans.
Okay, so you telling me that instead of this, you don't think you can get 28,000 people for $10 a month to watch Jay curl her hair?
So what's so funny is we've already talked about her doing like stretching videos and all kind of stuff on OnlyFans. This conversation ain't new to this family over here.
Stretching what?
Stretching, like there's women on OnlyFans. All they do is stretch. They wear their little yoga pants, and all they do is stretch. It's nothing provocative. It's nothing crazy. It's just stretching.
Let me tell you what I can't do. Because everybody got their limits. I don't need to be there. All right. Oh, no lie though. Ali said that Jay could do a whole page with guns and make millions.
Yep.
Listen, teach her how to break the guns down. Not like that one video you showed me. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I know that's ridiculous. Literally, that girl.
Yeah, buddy.
Now everybody on it. Vicky said I might need to hop on that feet, elbow, and ankle edition while I'm reading the Bible.
It's the giggle for me.
I don't need to be a part of this conversation.
You started it.
Before I started reading it. I'm telling you, my girl got good ankles, so I'm all right. I'm all right. She got real good ankles. Shoot. All right, man. That was just a little interlude for y'all. Let's go into this right here. Mike, can you see this ever being you? I was out with a bunch of people this weekend, and this guy suddenly said, "Man, I miss my wife," and went home. Like, I want that. Could you see yourself ever being that guy? Out with your friends and just like, I miss my wife, I'm out.
Yes.
At what point do you feel like that would be doing a disservice to your friends?
That's not my priority. Right.
So if they're not your priority, they still have some kind of importance.
They do have they have high importance. They have the people that I consider to be my friends have high importance. But if it's something like, you know what I mean, I need to go home and see my wife for whatever reason, like I miss her, like I need to be with my wife right now. Yeah.
If every time you call me,
that just made me for my mental stability and my mental peace.
If every time I hung out with you though, every time I hung out with you, I'm like, man, I gotta go home. I can see my wife. Would you stop inviting me? If that was just like, if that was my MO.
Like you as who you are to me right now?
Yeah, me right here.
No, I would not.
Okay.
Especially, see, I don't want to.
Because see, I understand that this when I read it, this is a once in a while thing. I'm asking, like, if it's just a continuous thing, it's like, then stay home. What you want? Why every time we come out, you ready to go back home 5 minutes later? Like, maybe you're not built for this life no more. Maybe outdoors ain't for you no more.
I get what you're saying, but have you ever had to put off things or wanted to put off things so you could go be with your woman?
Yeah. So in my mind, the way I bring
as me being your boy, I'm never going to be upset at that.
So the reason I bring this devil's advocate to the table is because I think sometimes people get into marriages and they're still trying to hold on to a form of their old life that really just doesn't work anymore.
Bruh, that is so good. You don't even understand. Not even in marriage. When you're in a solid relationship, I don't need to be out all the time. I'm okay with being at the house.
It don't work no more.
It's safe. It's peaceful. It's my comfort zone. She's my comfort zone. Like, what do I need to go out? And then I got to bring my gun. Then I'm sitting around. I'm looking at all these niggas. I'm on high alert. And I just want to go home.
Y'all can come with me.
Yeah, y'all can come over to the house.
Oh, the backyard.
Come through.
Yeah, I think that's why I bring this up as a devil's advocate. Because I think oftentimes we don't want to respect the totality of the transition that God has put us in. We've transitioned to a new relationship, and we often hold space for a new person, but not a new routine, not a new norm. And when we try to occupy this new with the old so that nobody's upset, nobody feels disservice, we create a pressure on ourselves, and we also put ourselves in environments where we're not being fed because what was old can't really nourish us like it used to. The new thing is why God brought you into this new place. And if you don't give that the attention and time that it needs because people around you may either be jealous or because you're trying to accommodate too many roles in too many people's lives, listen, you're going to hurt yourself. And you're going to end up messing up a lot of relationships. It's like my mentor told me a while ago, intentions are great, but capacity is king. You may want to do all these things, but if you don't have the emotional and physical capacity, what happens is that nobody gets quality Donovan. Everybody just gets a piece here, a piece there, but no, not even your person who signed up for the best of you. They don't get quality you because you're trying to spread yourself too thin so everybody can be okay. That's exact. Look, as soon as I said it, she put in there, stretching yourself too thin is harmful. Yep.
I'm the not in necessarily my relationships, but in work and in business, I am the king of that. Just saying yes, yes, yes. And not to go back to the fear thing we kind of talked about earlier, but just the fear of I'm missing out on this money. I'm missing out on this opportunity. I'm missing out on, well, if God is your provider, shouldn't we just be trusting in him and not, I got to do it all on my own right now because I got to take 5 jobs that's all due on the same day. Impossible stuff.
Yeah.
If I told you my schedule, you'd be like, nigga, why? You're not going to even be able to do all that.
Listen, when I text you or when I text Jay, I was like, can we talk this weekend about something? Well, we got this going on this weekend. So how about September of next year? It's like, oh, okay. No disrespect. I understand. Y'all on the grind. So the reason I brought the OnlyFans up was because I just want to get y'all to get some more time back. But
I appreciate it. We got Mask in the room. I'm probably telling way too much information.
Wow.
Sheesh. No, it was a thing. It was.
You still. It
was a thing. It was a.
We just talked about this.
No, I just looked at it. She gave me the look. She gave me the okay look. It was actually a thing. Like we were actually legit considering for a while, but it was also the thing. The way we were going about it, we thought that our morals will be saying TMI. All right, strike that from the record. Continue.
Means touch my innocence. Go ahead. What were you saying? Mike Kenny said, stretching yourself too thin in business could make you lose money. I'm telling you, man. This is
you're right, Kenny. You're right. You're right. Customer, you lose customers because somebody is gonna get the short end of the stick. Jesus. Yeah. Don't put that in the soundbite when you do the commercial. Just
we just sitting here talking about OnlyFans, and Mike wants to tell the whole world that somebody, anybody, everybody. All right. Pook said, I've seen relationships where friendships are completely cut off to nurture a marriage, romance, and then it falls apart and the person has no one to turn to. Ooh. So let's talk about this then, because if you have to cut off friendships for your marriage to work, that means that you don't have a village. You need a support team to help hold you accountable to the commitments and the vows that you made. So if you have to cut them off, you better be getting new people that actually fit in and support and can work in union with you in your marriage, because that cutoff piece, I understand that some friendships you had just aren't good for the man I'm trying to be today and what I'm trying to do in my marriage, because we're not, what makes it work is the Bible says that how can two people walk together unless they agree, right? So there's certain times and seasons that we've had major mad agreement, me and you. And as I transition in who I am and I'm evolving and I want to be married and have kids, some of my agreements are changing. And so that means me and you may not agree on the same things anymore, which means that we can't walk together anymore. Which means that I should really find other people to have agreement to walk with, because the Bible also says, woe to the man who falls and he's by himself.
Come on.
So it's not about just cutting people off so I can focus on my relationship. It's about bringing in a very well vetted village and community to walk this thing out with you. That's why at the same people who are in the reception don't get invited to the wedding, because the wedding room and that whole ceremony is reserved for people who are actually taking the vow with you. The onlookers and everybody else who's just happy for you should come to the reception, but the wedding is actually supposed to be reserved for those who are also taking that vow. And I think a lot of people miss that because they don't want people to miss that moment. And yeah, that's a whole different conversation.
That's good though, and probably on the next show we should probably dive into that, about just inviting everybody to your wedding ceremony because you knew them. Oh, we went to first grade together. Nah, that should be a sacred, in my opinion, should be a sacred occasion where select few are invited. And like you said, the reception, let's party. Everybody come through. We partying. But for that,
yeah, I'm not going live at my wedding.
Agreed.
Man.
God is good.
Yeah. I like this before we move on to the next one. Lakeisha said, when you have kids, you hang with people with kids. When you're married, you hang out with married people. What kind of life are you involving yourself in? Now, I appreciate Mike for hanging out with me, and I ain't got no kids because he got his son, but I want kids. And so there's something to be said about my heart versus me trying to pull Mike into this man that has no relationship and has no kids, trying to get him just to live in this space like I'm in. Like, that's different versus I'm aspiring to be where Mike is. I think that's what kind of helps the brotherhood to have agreement.
And you know, I chose you and for my son to be around you, but because of the type of man you are. If you weren't the type of man you are, friends or not, you wouldn't be around my son. Same thing with women. I don't just bring anybody around dinner. If we're not in alignment on values, on morals, nah, you're not gonna be there, homeboy or not.
I thought me and Dylan were just like sparring partners.
That you are. We still haven't. We'll get to the bottom of it. Denim.
Is he still up?
Yeah. Donnie said hello.
What's up?
Ask him why he broke the microphone.
You heard him?
This is why we're not friends.
He said why you break the microphone?
Yeah, it was an accident.
Bro, it was an accident.
Okay. All right, bro. My bad.
Can I take a shower?
What? Yeah, that wasn't for everybody. No. All right, moving on to the next video. Yo, this right here. Let's have some fun with this one, man.
Take off your clothes. I'm taking off my clothes. More roses. Put this on. What is he doing? Does it keep going? Light the candle. This is so romantic. Where is this leading? Going up. Oh my God. Pour a glass, please. We've been together 2 years. You are the girl of my dreams. Oh my God. I want to take the next step and ask you a huge question. Follow the roses. Babe, what is this? Open me. Will you do my laundry? All of this for this?
All right, hold on. Open it up.
For the rest of our lives. That's a ring in there.
Will you marry me?
This, you're for real?
Yeah. Will you marry me?
Yes! Yes! Take.
Did he get you? He got you?
That was good. I like it.
I've been having a conversation with some friends about like proposals and stuff, just hearing what people's like mindsets was and girls and guys, and how the conversation got started because people were talking about the happy wife, happy life, and they backtracked to the fact that the wedding, the marriage is so focused on the wife because the wedding is focused on the wife, and the wedding is so focused on the wife because the proposal was so focused on the wife, and the proposal was so focused on the wife because she was the one that was being pursued the whole time. And the conversation came up. I wonder if men ever had a way that they saw that they wanted to propose to their wife one day, and does that even matter? I wonder if men have ever really had an idea what they wanted their wedding to look like, but because it's not culturally appropriate for a man to really express his ideal wedding, you know what I'm saying, desires, that they just like suppress them. And then somehow what comes up is just happy wife, happy life. And that was a real conversation that needed to happen, because people are wondering, like, man, when did I lose him? And they're talking about their husbands back when you guys were dating. He never really felt like he was home. Always felt like, and I understand the idea of pursuing your wife and, you know what I'm saying, continuing to date her and those kind of things. But I think there's something else to be said, that when you're pursued in that way, like my mentor told me, that the man sets the tone and the woman creates the environment from his tone. And so in response to this pursuing and this chivalry and all these things, there's a certain environment that makes that man feel home and refreshes him every time he pursues you, and just makes him want to do it more and more and more, because both of you guys, the needs and the desires are equally important. And so when it comes to this video about the proposal, this was clearly his idea. He didn't check in with her sister, her moms, nobody in her family to see how she liked to be proposed to, but it still worked.
Yeah.
And the other video that I didn't post was that this guy had his girlfriend on the cliff, and he knelt down and he proposed to her, and her friend was in the background recording it the whole time. And she started looking and she was crying, and she was like, I don't have my nails done. Why would you let him do this and I don't have my nails done? Like, because, you know, once you put the ring on, you take the picture and your hands is looking raggedy, you're like, this is not what I want. And so it's like, how do you approach? I said all that, Mike, to how did you approach how you were going to propose to Jay?
I didn't ask any of her friends. I think in my mind, from things that me and her have talked about over the years, things that she likes, environments she likes to be in, the places I know make her feel happy and make her feel comfortable. She likes to travel. She likes the water. She likes tropical environments. So I kind of just took all of that stuff and then added my own little flair of my personality, who I am, the things I like, and fused those two together. And then, yeah, that's how we got the proposal. I ran it by a few people, and they're like, "Oh yeah."
Jay, were you satisfied with that proposal?
100%.
100%.
Gotta know your woman, Mike.
Good man. Good man. All right. All
Yeah,
right.
so
I'm gonna ask the people in the audience, like, so what is it? Oh, well, they already got some stuff in here. Okay. Vicky said, I love to know if me, do you think about what I'd love to know if me, do you think about what their wedding day would look like? Yeah.
But I don't understand the question.
Yeah, I didn't either. I just kind of went, I think it was I don't know if I didn't read it right. I'd love to know if men at the end, I'd love to know if men do think about what their wedding day. I have thought about it.
Yeah.
Have I been asked about it?
I think for me, for me, the only thing I want my 2 cents actually implemented is the food and the fashion. That's it. Everything else, venue, all that.
Talk about the fashion. You want to pick out her dress?
No. As far as like,
you don't have a gun on her garter underneath her dress?
Maybe.
Probably.
Probably.
Mike doing the dance. He coming out with a garter in his mouth and.
Just like the color scheme, things like that, and then the food. But yeah, I feel like, and this is probably just because of society and just being raised in a traditional household. I just want this day to be extremely special. Of course, it's going to be special because this is the day we're going to be married. But I just want there to be so many memories made, and I got to have this. I got to have this. I've never had this before. Because for me, her saying yes did that for me. So
Gotcha.
I've already been on that cloud.
Gotcha.
The fact that walking down the aisle together, I'm already on that cloud. So I don't need the grandiose. I need the doves and the 10-gun salute. Maybe the 10-gun salute. But other than that, I don't need all of that. But if that's what she wants, I want her to have that.
Amen. I got you. I think it's good for men to input what they desire, because once a year or once every 5 years, when you look back over the wedding and you wonder why he's not as excited as you are, because that was your dream come true. It wasn't his. You were his dream come true.
That's good. That is good. Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times I've seen this in previous relationships, that the woman want the man to be just as excited as she is in situations that were 100% catered to her. And we try sometimes, but it doesn't come off as sincere because it's really not. You know what I'm saying? Just to be honest. Just to be honest, like, yeah, I just think I have to have those kind of conversations, because when I coach these people in relationships and they wonder why things aren't really working and why the man is different and why he ain't really responding like he used to, because none of this is about what he wants or what he desires. It's all about what you want from him. It's all about what he can give. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you got to realize that nobody really signed up for that. That's that. And I think sometimes, I think a pastor told me once, he said, the greatest idols are created around relationships, romantic relationships, because a lot of people feel like that's going to be their heaven on earth. And so they make it all about them. This is how I want to be pursued. This is how I want things to go. This is how I want. This is how I want. This is how I want. And they idolize the wedding. They idolize the marriage. They idolize the dress. They idolize all these things. They're making it about all these desires that they've been waiting their whole life for, when really marriage is a place you go to die.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
To become a whole new person with this person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're not taking all that to the altar prior to getting in these relationships and this marriage, then I dare say that it's going to come back and haunt you later on.
Hey, did you put that clip that I had put in there? It was like 3 minutes long. It was a video that I screen recorded that I wanted.
Oh, shoot. Hold on, brother.
Yeah, and it would be perfect. A perfect way to end the show, because I think the conversation will carry us.
All right, give me 2 seconds. I'll grab real quick. Talk to the folks. I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh man, my brother. See if that Claritin is in there too, man. You sounded bad over there. Let's get into these comments. Ali said, where is it? Ali said, I was never engaged before being married because it is biblical and never sat right with me. It isn't biblical and never sat right with me, but I love seeing the creative proposals online. I get that. She missed it, and she only concerned about her nails. It's the heart condition for me. That's funny that you said that, Amber, because when Donnie mentioned that the girl was tripping on her nails, I was thinking the same thing. Like, man, you missing the whole. This man is literally sitting here saying he wants to spend the rest of his life with you and doing this gesture of, I'm assuming getting down on one knee, and then he has your friend there and she's recording, and the only thing you can seem to think about is my nails aren't done. I get it, but like Amber said, does his heart posture, the fact that, you know what I mean, he's doing this out of a place of love, does that even count? Or is it one of those things where he should have known better, or he should have asked first, or he should have looked at you? Like, to me, I think spontaneity has a lot to do with, for me, planning the proposal. And if I got to check and see every little thing and check off all of your boxes for the proposal, then it's your proposal. It's not mine anymore. Because you've taken all of my creative thoughts and processes away from it. Now so it's yours. Propose to your damn self then.
Soundbite. God.
Yeah, bro. It's
all right, Mike. At a
People-
minute and 33 seconds, he just went off. I'm gonna mark that down somewhere. Talking about the proposal. Jeez. Can I propose to you, please? Can I? Please. No. Yep. I got the video, so we can grow. We can grow. We can grow. I can't even speak right. Here we go.
What I want.
Yep.
Big wedding, big dress, big venue, everything blinged out. You already know what I want.
Cause you just want to flex on your little cousins and your peers. I thought we was doing this for us though.
We are doing it for us, but we can do it how I said I want it done.
So
if we can't do it how I said I want it done, then we don't have to do it at all. I'm not getting married at no courthouse. What do I look like getting married at a courthouse? Like that don't even sound right. That's not even a wedding. Like you being mad cheap right now and mad weird for no reason.
I'm being cheap, but you want a whole cruise right now.
Okay,
you ain't had to pay a dollar.
Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm used to dealing with people with money. That's not what I'm used to. So give me exactly what I'm asking for, and there's no problem.
So what am I? Is this supposed to be like some sugar daddy type situation, or you want me to be your husband?
If that's what you want to call it, if you want to call it a sugar daddy because it makes you feel
I don't want to.
If it makes you feel better saying sugar daddy, then say that. But
that's what you put me in the
I'm
mind.
not putting you in the category as being a sugar daddy. I'm just telling you what I'm used to.
Now,
you know what I come from.
you feel crazy.
You know
sound crazy.
So I don't care how it sounds.
You're putting these crazy stipulation on our wedding because
it could be that.
Like how you sound?
Are you broke? Can you afford it? Can you afford it?
Is the ocean wet?
Okay, then. So what are you complaining about?
What do you mean? Can I afford it?
Get it done then.
Make me want to get it done. Like
no, it's not. I obviously made you want to get it done if you want to marry me. So.
All right, but then as soon as the marriage, I'm saying, well, you know, it ain't never been nothing broke about me. Anything you ask for,
you acting like it.
Anything you ask for, you get. You know what I'm saying? But
this
is the one thing.
Nah, that's not what I'm used to. So give me exactly what I'm asking for, and there's no problem.
So what, you want another car, right?
Right.
That's just
and I expect you to get it.
I mean,
okay.
I don't know. We're not seeing eye to eye on this. Like
at this point, then if we're not seeing eye to eye, I don't think it's gonna work then. Because that's just what it's gonna be.
Maybe you should work.
I don't need to work.
That might help. Like
I don't need to work. What's the purpose of being in a relationship?
Because you want a sponsor.
No.
Like you don't want to.
I want a man who makes sure I get what I want
you
when
want,
I want it.
You want a sugar daddy. That's what you want.
That's what you want to call it. I want a provider. That's what I call it.
So, you being out here on me bring her to the Bahamas, 7 days, bought all her whole wardrobe, paid for everything, drinks and all that.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's not being a provider.
Whatever I see that I want.
Money.
It's not about the money. It's about what I want, and what I want is.
But I thought what you wanted was me, though. I thought we was doing this for our love.
We can do that for love. That's
See,
nice.
I just want to live like a normal, little, nice, little, happy, quiet life. But she want to be all festive.
Yes, because I'm a festive person.
And try to keep up with the Joneses. Like that's not what it's about. I don't even know
the Joneses. I'm a festive person, and I like to have the best, and I deserve the best. And that's what
social
you
media.
Going to give me.
That's social media stuff about your head.
Stop being cheap.
That's social media stuff about your head.
Stop being cheap. I'm not getting married at no courthouse.
There's nothing cheap about me, but I'm just saying.
That's like a joke right now.
We could be using those expenses for other stuff.
Okay, you can make more money for other stuff after we get my wedding that I want. So don't ask me to marry you. Don't ask me to marry you at no courthouse. That don't even sound right.
So do you want to marry me or you want to marry my wife?
I want to marry at the venue that I. Okay.
And you.
Thanks for that video, Mike. Thanks. Exactly, Ken. 1000%. She got me mad. She got me, but he got me mad too. And I feel like he created this.
No.
Let me take that back. I'm about to be held accountable. He may not have created this, but he enabled this.
Yes. Because it's a moment, and literally I just heard it as I'm watching this video that kind of shifted my thoughts about the video, because he said, up until now, I've given you everything you've ever asked for. And her response was basically, well, keep doing it. Like, this is what I'm used to. She kept saying that.
Same energy, huh?
And we preached that on the show. Keep that same energy. until it backfired. So granted, I do feel the way she going about it is terrible. But
she being authentic and honest, and it seems like she's been that way this whole time.
Exactly.
So what are we faulting her for? Even though she did make me mad. What are we faulting her for? She made me mad because she triggered me. I mean, but is there anything really wrong with her? What did she do that was wrong? She didn't lie about who she was ever.
And I was about to say, clearly he knew what the type of woman she was, because she said, "You already know what I come from. You already know what I'm used to. And you told me you could provide me with these things if I got with you, and now you don't want to do it."
Let me tell you. Let me tell you what I heard. What I heard was that he did all these things because that's just the man that he is, and they hit it off well because that's who she was, that's who he is. And then in the middle of all this, I heard, I'm about to just make up this whole story that I heard. I heard is his heart, that this is something that he finally wanted, that he was hoping for.
Yep.
And neither of them created space for him to have his wants in that moment. Even though it sounds like he put himself on the back burner the entire time, he just went after what she wanted. And the moment he wanted something, it couldn't be honored. I feel like that was maybe something of a dream of his or a heart desire of his that he just had reserved. Like, I'll do everything else, God, if I can just have this. Of course, I'm making up my own story, but I think a lot of times in moments where people are pushing back, it's good to pause and kind of identify where that could be coming from. Where is there a neglect or abandonment or hurt that's causing them to push back, and they don't normally push back, and this might just be that one thing for them. And I think this is the case for a lot of men. I know a lot of men spoil their women. I've been guilty. You know what I'm saying to you? But I know that there's sometimes there come these things that, well, why in this area am I like really like, nah, babe, not this time? Because it's usually that I haven't been advocating for myself. And this is one thing that I feel like I need to. There's either the kid in me, little Donnie, you know what I'm saying like, man, you promised me that we at least get this. If we continue to sacrifice and give of ourselves, we could at least have this part. And now it's like, it is weird though, that he gave everything he wanted, but what's going on now that he's like, man, that money could be spent towards something else? What is he thinking about that he hasn't expressed in the past that's important to him that he didn't advocate for early on?
So I feel like from what I took from the video, I feel like if everybody's being honest in the video, I feel like the brother doesn't have enough money to give her exactly what she asked for. But like he asked her, he said, "Are you doing this? Are we doing this for love, or are we doing this for money? Like, are you trying to marry my wallet?" And I think in that moment, it is really a test for her and probably a test for him. Like, is she really going to be okay with me saying, let's get married at a courthouse? Because had she say, okay, babe, cool, I love you, let's do it, he probably would have still gave her the wedding she wanted.
Maybe he was just testing her.
That's how I'm feeling. Because he recording it, he with all the shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking, like,
yeah, flew me out.
Maybe he got to the point to where it's like, I really don't know if you're really in this for me or for my money.
Nah, he knows. No. This ain't a new question.
Well, I would hope he would know. To me, it's obvious.
I want to know at what point did his brother pick up the phone and say, I probably need to record this. This is good. This is good. I think he had it. I mean, of course, we don't know, but I like making up my own story. I think he had it. I think he had the money to afford to do it all.
Yeah.
I think some other things started to set in his mind. He's like, dang, rest of my life, huh? Because you know she ain't signed no prenup.
Not at all. She need all that. She need all that. The cost of flaws.
I was in my premarital courses a few weeks ago, and I asked the people who were facilitating, are there any red flags or any deal breakers that we need to be looking out for while we're going through all these questions? Because they got us talking about in-laws and finances and sex and conflict resolution and roles and responsibilities around the house and expectations and disappointments. And they were like, honestly, they responded to me in a way like, no, like if you're here in this space, you should already concluded anything that could have been a deal breaker. Right now, we're just ironing out some things that you guys need to try to find some kind of agreement or compromise on. And I think that sometimes people wait far too long in their dating or relationship process to bring up deal breakers. You should be doing that in the first 3 dates. I think Pookie talked to me about that before. Told me something like that. Like, actually, the sooner the better.
Agreed.
in it for them free meals.
And them 7-day Bahamas trips that our boy flew her out to. She got flued out.
Oh shoot, Mike, we got a question on the table. What does everybody think about a prenup? Halloween prenup.
You want prenup? Prenup. What do I think about it? I feel like if I'm going into this marriage and I'm promising through better or worse, and I'm promising all of these things till death do us part, and I'm promising all of these things, I don't see why I would need a prenup, I guess. I feel like when you get a prenup, it's a plan B. But for me personally, and the marriage that I'm going to enter into, I don't even want to have a plan B. I want to free fall into this thing, and we're going to make it work, and we're going to start to make it work come hell or high water.
What if some of your finances are tied up in family business? So you have some partnerships that you dealing. It's not just you. Like you got a partnership you're dealing with your homeboy, and then you and your mom got some real estate property, and then you and one of your cousins, you know what I'm saying, got a car rental business, and then you get married. Should there be any kind of stipulations that any partnerships I'm involved in have nothing to do with this marriage in case anything happens? Because what happens in that regard is she now a partner also in all those endeavors?
Are we now one person?
That's the question.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
That means that in your stead, if you can't make it to a business meeting, she steps in and she speaks for you.
100%.
This is a conversation we had in the circle, and it was me, Pookie, and Errol and Carrie. We're having this conversation. I was talking about this, like we were talking about, starting a business together. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting married, and my partners, can come in. I'm not there and speak her mind and say whatever she wants because we're one. They were like, no. Like, this is between us. But I was like, but my partner is going to be my person. So, but like, no, that's not who we in business with. And so is that a conversation you need to have with your business partners, that I'm marrying a woman and she's going to have equal say in this partnership so that maybe y'all can rewrite y'all contract?
I would definitely say that definitely needs to be a conversation that needs to be had with whoever you're in business with. We have multiple businesses right now. You know what I mean? And if I'm not there to talk about something or to do something, talk to Janae.
So mom came in and said, absolutely not. Ma, please, absolutely not. What? Please share this, because these are legit questions. Yeah, these are legit questions. Pookie said, I would sign a prenup because unfortunately sometimes people change and it's completely out of your control. Anything we build together, yes, but anything he brings or I bring separately, I'm okay with it staying that way.
So why do you have to sign something for it to be like that? Y'all should have the type of relationship. If this is your choice, y'all should have the type of relationship to where nothing has to be signed for us to be honest with each other.
This is good right here. Ken said, if you're not married for money, you shouldn't mind. I think a lot of times prenup is seen as you don't trust me contract. Is that really what it's saying?
What else would it be saying?
What else would it be saying? Going back to what Pookie said, she said, unfortunately, sometimes people change and it's completely out of your control. Unforeseen circumstances is what it's saying. We don't have a plan. I do love you and I trust you. Unforeseen circumstances. Something comes up and happens in a way that we neither one of us was expecting or wanting. Are all my other business endeavors and the livelihood of our children, how is that going to be impacted by unforeseen circumstances that could affect us?
But so a prenup just means that you'll get half of my money. You
can customize it however you want.
Yeah, and I get all that, but you can still have whatever you're saying in this prenup. You can still have it without signing paperwork. Can you not?
So you're saying, like, if you guys are both like if you're a solid person still and of mental state and capacity, then you guys can just talk it out and it should be okay. It could be understood without having to bring the courts into it.
Right. And usually prenup we're talking about divorce, right? So in my mind, that plan B, you're automatically, we might get divorced. I don't want to go into no more relationship with we might get divorced. I've been there.
So you're the kind of person that
putting these thoughts into your head, whether you know it or not. You're already preparing, because that's what a prenup is. You're preparing to be divorced. Why? Let
me go look up prenup so I make sure I'm saying these things right. I like what Maiva said. She said Shoot, she said, is your spouse talking to your boss? Don't mix business with relationships. And that's the thing. Is your marriage just a relationship, or is it really, again, a death in the union? Because that's different.
Nah. Marriage
Is
is
it
way more sacred than this is just a relationship. Because in a relationship, I'm not telling nobody that I'm going to be with him till death do his part. Me and Donnie may get into it over something really big and really worth not being friends anymore tomorrow.
So
But
prenup is,
you got it.
Says an agreement made by a couple before they marry concerning the ownership of their respective assets should the marriage fail. So it's not saying that, we believe it's going to fail, but should something happen, irreconcilable differences. I know that my mentor told me, said, whatever you hold space for will happen. If you make it an option, sooner or later you're going to have to exercise it. So don't make it an option.
That's my mom.
Now, what does that hold you to? Does that hold you to abuse? Does that hold you to neglect? Does that hold you to abandonment? Like you're just in it.
So to me, it sounds like you're not trusting your choice. You chose this person, so now you're wondering if they're gonna eventually abuse you. Maybe you may eventually be hit by a car. Is that how we're gonna live our life?
That's why we have life insurance.
Not everybody.
It's another contract. It's a prenup for life. In case my life fails, I need certain monies to go to not the state or the government, but to my children.
Right, and that's how you want to go into your marriage.
I don't know. This is the devil's advocate of this whole conversation because I think that people can't even have an honest civil conversation about prenups because they're perceived as you don't trust me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if we can have just a sober civil conversation, like, okay, there might be some financial benefits or maybe a way of looking at this that we need to consider because, like my mom said, you might, if a marriage is for some people it's a contract, other people it's a covenant. But if you're making promises to this person, but you've already made other promises, you need to look at all the promises you've made to people and make sure none of them conflict each other.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I think this is again going back to people not being good stewards over what this is your partner. But if you die to yourself and become one with this person, that means this person and you are both partners in the other places. It's respectful to ask these people, do we need to rewrite this contract because I'm about to become one with this person? They're going to have equal say here.
Yes.
Mom
and also, go ahead.
The commitment, the marriage is between you two. The business has other arrangements. Business is also affected by your marriage, right?
I was about to say it's between us two, but it affects everybody around us. We may make the vows to each other, but that marriage affects everybody and everything within our vicinity. Even as far as the landlord, I got to move out, or she got to move out, or we're both moving out to get a new place. It affects literally everything in our lives as single people, including business.
It's an interesting conversation. I know some people don't believe in divorce. That's why they don't believe in prenups. I think we were having a conversation in one of the premarital course. I was like, I believe in divorce. I believe it. I don't need to say I don't believe in it to not do it.
Yeah.
I believe it's a real thing.
Right.
I believe God hates it, but I believe there's a lot of things that God hates. I believe that they exist. And I believe that some people have saved their lives by exercising that. Even though some people say, well, you should have had this discernment and all that stuff up front. Well, we do the best we can. We're in love.
Yeah.
I just think that sometimes people are being way too legalistic, and it puts you in this bind to where a lot of people are married and they rather be dead. Yeah.
And we have to also realize God hates divorce, but people's pickers are off sometimes. We made the mistake of marrying this person. This ain't have nothing to do with God. God didn't go tell you to marry that person. You wanted to do that. So now it's ending the way it's ending. And I don't believe anybody should live in abuse or in a state of whether it's mental, physical, or any other kind of abuse. I don't believe anybody should live in that, married or not.
So when we look at it this way, if for some people, again, marriage is a contract, other people, marriage is a covenant. So in a contract, if there's a breach of contract, then, marriage is dissolved. That breach of contract could come from you not keeping your vows. And so everybody looks at the cheating, vow, like, you stepped out on your marriage. But what about to honor and respect till death do us part, for richer or for poor. Like,
what's crazy? Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Is there anything in the marriage vows about cheating?
Depends on the vows that the people make. There's a standard. If you look up online, there's a standard westernized
100%.
A vow that you say. You hear it in most marriages. Wise people create their own vows, because a vow is something that you're going to be held accountable to. Don't say what you don't mean.
We say that all the time on here.
Don't get up there and say till death, richer for poor, if you know that's not how you ride.
Because if she gets into a bad accident and half of her face is burned off, and she's missing an arm and missing both her legs, nigga, you not staying. You out the first minute you get.
Forsaking all others is that is in the traditional vows. Yeah. That might be crazy. I wrote my own. Hey man, as we should, because this is your covenant with your person. But it's like, I saw this one story online that it was the husband had a tragic accident, and I think he wanted her to divorce him so that she could live a happy life with her new husband, and her new husband take care of the ex-husband.
That's dope.
They got divorced though.
They did. Yeah.
If a person losing limbs doesn't mean the marriage has to fail. But was that written up in the vows? What are we really, are we holding ourselves to what God is seeing as marriage, or to what we're saying where our conditions are for marriage? Because a lot of that comes down to when, you're like, I've had enough. Like, where is that enough a line? And that really depends if you have a covenant or you have a contract. Listen, I don't know these people private life. I'd be all up in people's business, but not that far. He probably is. It's my ex-husband. He still got needs. Ooh.
Go ahead, roll me into the room. Come on.
Allie said, I got married because our church made us. It was a shotgun wedding. See, these are conversations that you need to have with people, man.
Jeez.
Have the divorce and the prenup and the in-law and all those kind of conversations, because you could marry someone and in love they make all these promises and these vows, and then in marriage doesn't always look like in love. In marriage can look like, well, my family fell on hard times, and family first.
Yep.
Like, but you tell your partner, well, you died to all that for this new thing that you and I created. But that's sometimes a little easier said than done for people who are very close with their family. And so sometimes it's like, can I be patient and wait this out? Or is this person taking a new stance, irregardless of the vows they made to me? Is that not a breach? And if it is a breach, does that still give me an out? If it's a covenant, no. If it's a contract, yeah. But covenants don't get the same covering that contracts do.
Solid.
Covenants don't have contracts don't have the same anointing over them that covenants do. It's been a great show. This is the topic to continue.
If you ever say irregardless on this podcast again, I will be removing you immediately.
You wouldn't with that? You didn't like that?
God, I tried to let it go too. And then Janae gonna say, just judge it.
It was a light skinned word. I'm sorry.
Here we go.
Oh, it's the end of the show, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
need to go to therapy. You need to go to therapy. Get yourself in therapy.
Oh man. All right. At the end of every episode.
In a minute.
Every episode, we like to give you guys a mental health resource. If you're dealing with a crisis, pick up where we left off. In marriage, you're struggling with your stepchildren, or your in-laws, or your actual spouse. Whatever it may be, you can call them, or you can go online and chat with somebody. Get connected to mental health resources. Get connected to crisis resources, support groups, mental health therapists, psychologists, like all the resources you need can be connected through this number. It used to be an 800 number. They shortened it to 988. We've had a few people from the show have reach out, get the number, and they've gotten the help that they needed. For real, you guys, a lot of the things that we struggle with in life, we don't have to struggle with. I will go back to an earlier part of the show, and I would say become an advocate for your parents doing therapy, even if that means you do it with them. Because I know it wasn't as popular in our generation, back in their generation, as it is in ours. And sometimes even in your parents, in all of their elderness, they still need a little bit of hand holding in these new things. Sometimes therapy for them is like the newest TikTok trend. It's just foreign, and I don't want nothing to do with it. You might have to do some hand holding. I think that some people, it's a couple of family therapy sessions away from having their dream come true with their family. These people are highly trained and really good at what they do. And man, Mike can attest to it. I can attest to it. Carrie can attest to it. I think we might all have the same therapist, right? Well, at some point we've had the same guy. But yeah, therapy is bomb. Get yourself with the right therapist. Pray about it. And I just want to advocate for that today. Just family therapy might be a good resource that a lot of us could be a game changer. Amen. Look at my mama. Amen.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah. All right. Man, Mike, you praying us out or?
Yeah. Let's get up. It never fails. It never fails. I still got a place in my heart for that girl.
You need to go to therapy. You need to go to therapy.
I'm gonna play the whole song soon. Go ahead and pray, man, so we can make it happen at some point.
Right. Father, I thank you for protecting us, guiding us, strengthening us during this week, Lord. Thank you that you wherever we go, Lord, we see and we show your light to those that need it, Lord. We thank you for your covering angels. We thank you for anyone that's in need of mental strength, mental stability, emotional strength, emotional stability, Lord. We go through these things on a daily basis, and a lot of times we don't tell anybody. We keep silent. We put on these smiles and these fake laughs, Lord, but inside we're dying, Lord, and we need you, Lord. So we just thank you for stepping in and stepping up in our lives and in our hearts and in our spirits, Lord. And I just thank you and praise you that we anybody that was listening tonight, they received something. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Ken jumped in the chat while you were praying, said needs the info for the therapist. Maybe we can get that to you, Ken, direct. Maybe we should put that on the halftime.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. Man, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Until next Sunday, we love y'all, and hopefully something we said helped.
2 Chainz.
I'll hold you down.